Hi, everyone. We have a very nice audience here. I'm super happy to present. So my name is Aza. I flew 16 hours all the way from Tokyo, Japan, to do this presentation for you about our product, about our startup, and what kind of amazing technology we're building. Okay? So the title, as you can see, is How to Build an AI Engine to Generate Near Real-Time Insights for Videos at Scale, which means our company is building next-generation search engine, AI-based search engine, for large-scale video data sets. So we provide a search engine. You can search for anything in the video content you want. All right, so I'll go into details in a moment. Cool. So let's start with the problem. What kind of problem we're trying to solve with our technology first. So as you know, at the moment, the world is being recorded every time. So I see several cameras. Everyone's recording me at the moment. That's also a video, right? But unfortunately, all this recorded video gets stored and never analyzed, right? So if you look at the whole entire internet data, more than 80% of the data is video. And then enterprises have like from 3 to 8 petabytes of data stored, never analyzed. So we call it the dark data. About 90% of the data never is analyzed on the video content, all right? So we call it like the dark data crisis. And the main problem why it's the case is that current technology does not really allow in a cheap and accurate way to analyze the video content and make it searchable. The problem is this, basically. The technology is not there yet. And my company is trying to solve this problem for large enterprises, basically. Make this data searchable, analyzable. So there's an interesting concept here. Like if you look into this, is from points to lines. So I'll explain this concept. So currently, you have a bunch of AI models that actually allow to do basic understanding. You can do object detection, you can do face detection, you can do like some point-to-point understanding of the video. But what we're trying to build is basically lines, meaning we would like to understand the video through the time, understand the causes or like this causal relationship between events within the video, and then provide kind of a general story of what happened in the video, right? So basically, we're providing this next level of understanding, human level of understanding for video content. And in order to achieve this, we are currently developing our foundational video understanding model that will have these 4 different capabilities. One is basically the causal event reasoning. I'll explain it a bit later. That tells like answers the question why inside the video. So we'll see the example soon. Then omni-modal retrieval. What it means is that most of the currently available technologies allow you to search through the visual elements or separately on the audio. What we're building is basically we're combining every single modality of the video into single space and make the entire video searchable. Then the other thing is the precise temporal grounding. What it means is that we can actually understand the time nature of the video content as well. We can search through the specific moments for specific events in the video with the natural language. And lastly, because you can't really solve these hard problems, like hard questions, with just simple like clip-based understanding, we are trying to solve the problem of long context understanding. So we would like to understand not a single like 30-minute clip, but like hours or days or weeks or even years of video content, so you can ask and understand, like ask any questions you want. So let's go one by one. So for the causal event reasoning, so here's an example. Imagine you have a security camera, right? And then record it, and then you saw a person running somewhere, but you don't really know the reason. Now, unless you go back in time and watch the video yourself, you wouldn't understand why this person is running. But now you can ask a question, hey, why this person is running? Then our video understanding model will actually reason about the past events and provide you the exact answer, all right? So that's what we're trying to solve. The next use case is, again, precise temporal grounding, which means finding exact moments and providing you the answer. So what it means is, here's an example, like let's say you have a 4 hours of kind of meeting happened, and eventually, the person signed the contract, right? About a year ago. Now you want to find exact moment how the contract was signed and what was spoken. Then you pass this video to our system, we understand, and you can ask, basically, find the exact time, the moment when the contract was signed. We can actually pull that out for that 5 seconds when the contract is signed, and you can actually understand specifically that moment, right? So that kind of capability we're currently building. Then the next one is omni-model retrieval, which is also a very interesting kind of use case, which is, the video is not only the images, right? It's like basically frames, plus you have a text, you have an audio as well, and many things contained in a single, the data point. Now what we're trying to do is basically we're trying to combine all different modalities into single space and make it searchable. So for example, you might search, like again, if you have like some accident at your home or in your facility, and you want to find an incident where a glass break sound happened and it coincides with a person running, which means the model needs to have a good understanding of the audio as well as the visual nature in the video content, right? So we basically combine all of these capabilities and find you exact moments in the video content. And then lastly, the long context understanding, basically understanding as lengthy video as possible, is, one of the use cases could be the security, for example, forensic research. Imagine you have you are a police and you would like to find a suspect, and you basically get a footage from all across the city, and you have like, hundreds of hours of footage, and you would like to basically track the suspect across all different camera angles, right? Now, because we provide this kind of long context understanding, the model can actually memorize what happened across all the time, all the events, and you can actually ask questions like track suspect whatever across 12 cameras over the 6 hours. Then we can actually, scan through all the video content and provide you exact moments when that person or when that suspect was running around, right? So these are the 4 capabilities that we say is like next level, next generation video search engine that the enterprises need at the moment. Now, we actually developed the initial, the technology and infrastructure, and we deployed in Japan for a very specific use case. I mean, we are a Japanese startup, and we deployed for one of the use cases in Japan, which is the TV broadcasting. So currently, we're tracking all TV broadcasting in Japan and make it everything searchable. So you can search for products, brands, locations, names, phone numbers on the video content that that is broadcasted on TV. All right. So that's one of the use cases. And then from there, you can summarize the video. You can basically extract the sentiments. You can, the segment stuff. You can track certain events, etc. So that's what we're doing for our customers at the moment, utilizing this technology. Then, after discussing to so many different customers in different industries, we found out that this technology is extremely useful, not only for TV broadcasting, but like for security, for manufacturing, for retail, etc. So in order to adjust our base model for different kinds of use cases, we're building what we call fine-tuning or like, adaptation factory. We have our base model that we can actually fine-tune to different kinds of use cases quickly. That should be able to provide kind of the best model for that specific use case in the video understanding space, right? So that's what we're basically currently developing as well. And then some of the use cases that we're considering at the moment and also working with the customers is, apart from the the TV broadcasting and media, is retail intelligence, to be able to understand like shoppers' journey within the retail space, right? So through the video, we can understand pretty much all the user behavior. Then the manufacturing, the quality control, the safety control, the productivity control, etc. So we're actually experimenting at the moment. And then the last piece, the security. I mean, the most obvious use case, which is basically forensic research, right? And how we are actually doing that is we are partnering with AWS to utilize all available technologies, right? We're mainly using currently the parallel cluster to train our models using Slurm and the S3 and EC2 and different kinds of like environment. We are also deploying, utilizing different kinds of NVIDIA GPUs, right? The H100s, L40S, B200, etc. So Amazon ecosystem is kind of providing this kind of technology for us. And of course, we store a lot of data. terabytes and terabytes, maybe close to petabyte of data to actually train this kind of model, right? And we use, the S3 bucket, FSX to actually mount into the AWS clusters and actually train our models, right? So this is the ecosystem that we're currently building. And as you know, for the enterprise customers specifically, the quality, the trust, the robustness, and security really matters. And since we are a bit tiny startup, we're really growing fast. In the next upcoming quarters, we're going to basically clear the SOC 2 security clearance. And at the same time, we're developing this, the application that contains our model that you can deploy on your secure environment, so that we don't really see your data at all. You can actually analyze, query your video content with our technology, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you have any, use cases, any, the customers, etc., I would love to kind of talk and discuss about different use cases. So, feel free to scan this QR code. We have a nice website, or just, feel free to reach us out at info@infinimind.io, and we're happy to answer any of your questions and, do some kind of experimentation with you. Yeah, so unlock your intelligence in your video data. We're happy to support you on this journey. Thank you so much.